Hi guys, Jus4SweetZ here. So today we're going to do another gift in a jar. We've been doing a little series of those, and I have cowboy cookies in a jar and almond joy cookies, and then I also have a pasta salad, suddenly salad, that I did in a jar as well. And with the holidays coming up, these make great gifts, and they're just easy and fun and creative and unique, and that's what I like to do, is to do different things, not just the everyday things. So let's go ahead and get started. There's quite a few ingredients in this. This is going to be a banana oat nut bread that we're going to do a gift in a jar. So what I've done is I've measured out 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. We're going to whisk a few ingredients together before we start layering everything. So the next thing we're going to use is buttermilk powder, and you can find this in your grocery store, usually down the baking aisle. And we're going to need 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of our buttermilk powder here. So measure that right in. And then we need a teaspoon of baking soda. Try to do some pretty good measurements. I'm eyeing everything, but very close to what I need here. We need a teaspoon of salt, and I usually just measure this. I'm sorry, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I usually measure this in my hand because I can usually eye the salt pretty well. So it needs just a little bit more of a dash there. So 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're going to go ahead and add the cinnamon as well. Sorry, I wrote all this down and I'm trying to follow along as I read it to you. So what we need is 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and you can substitute this if you have pumpkin pie spice, or I also use apple pie spice. So either one of those will work. If you don't, I mean, most people have cinnamon on hand, but sometimes it's fun to add a little bit of a different flavor, and so sometimes I will substitute those other two instead of cinnamon. All right, so what we're going to do is we have all these together, and we are going to just whisk them, mix them up well, and that is going to be our bottom layer. That's going to go into the bottom of the jar. So I've got the jar already. We have our quart jar. And we're going to go ahead and put that right in. Okay, we'll get that out of the way because we don't need that anymore. Okay, and you want to make sure that you even those out. All right, the next one we're moving on to is our brown sugar. And we need 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And we're going to make sure that we have it packed. So pack it in there real well, just like that. I love brown sugar. The only thing I don't like is that it gets hard really fast, but I've finally discovered after 20-something years of baking that if I put it in a container with a lid, it doesn't dry out. Isn't that amazing? I don't know. Sometimes it takes me a while, but I finally get it. All right, so we're done with the brown sugar. And the brown sugar, again, as I've done in my past videos, you want to kind of press that down. And I'm just going to use the back of a spoon, and we're going to go ahead and press that brown sugar down because you want to make room for your other ingredients. And this presses down and packs down really well. So it also looks pretty in the jar when it's real packed. Now, because it's in the bottom of the jar, I'd probably move it a little closer unless you have a wide mouth jar, because it's hard for me to get in there and press this down really good. But we're going to pack it down as well as we can with the back of the spoon, because my hand definitely doesn't fit in this jar. Okay. So we got that packed in there pretty well. Looks pretty. That's the best thing, is making these look really nice. And when you layer items like this, they look really nice. And I don't know, sometimes you can find a lot of beauty in food. Okay, so the next thing we want is our whole wheat flour. Again, I got this in the bulk section, but you can buy this where your flour is as well. And we need 1/2 cup of that. I had a heyday in the bulk section the other day. In fact, when I got up there, the checker looked at me and she goes, "Wow, you had fun in this section today. You must have been back there for a long time." I said, I could have just kept going. Okay, so we have our 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour, pastry flour. Put that to the side. Get our little gadget here. Okay. Shake it all down as usual. Make sure everything's kind of level. Next we need 1/2 cup of oat bran. I had a hard time finding this, but I finally found it. And again, another one of my dandy items, but it is oat bran. It's not wheat germ or flaxseed. Let's go ahead, and we need 1/2 cup of our oat bran. I'm gonna have to make this bread not in a jar so I can try it out. It looks really good. I love to make breads in the winter time. Actually, I like to make them all the time, but I don't know. There's something about baking and the smells in the winter time that I just love. All right, so here's our 1/2 cup of oat bran. I'm doing tricks in the kitchen. See how pretty this is getting? Look at the layers that it's doing. All right, next we need rolled oats. So I just have my old-fashioned oats here. Again, 1/2 cup. So this is pretty easy to remember. Almost everything is in 1/2 cup portions. So we need our 1/2 cup of oatmeal. I love oatmeal in bread, cookies, muffins. I don't know. It just gives it a neat texture, and I like the flavor that it gives it. I don't know. I just really like oatmeal. When it's 80-something degrees here right now, though, I'm not eating oatmeal because then I just get too hot. So, but in bread and cookies, it's perfect. All right, so we got that oatmeal in there. And last but not least, we are going to add, oh, I'm sorry, my oatmeal. I misread that after I told you everything was 1/2 cups. It's supposed to be 3/4 cup. So I think I'm actually going to add 1 cup of it because I think that oatmeal makes it really yummy. Okay, so there we go. So I added 1 cup of oatmeal. You can add 3/4 cup, whatever you desire. And last but not least, we are doing walnuts, and we need 3/4 cup of walnuts. But we need 1/2 cup in the jar in the layer. And then you need to get one of your little bags. And you can use a regular baggie. I'm going to go ahead and use my lollipop bags because those work perfect in these gifts in a jar. You can get these at the local craft store if you want to use these. But again, you can go to the dollar store and get baggies and do this. It doesn't have to be this. Okay, if I can get it on there, we'll be doing really good. Okay, so basically what we want to do is we want to put about 1/4 cup of walnuts. And these are chopped walnuts that I bought already chopped. And you want about 1/4 cup of them. And we're going to stick those in the baggie because that is what they are going to use to top the bread when it's in their loaf pan. So just go ahead and take that, and I just kind of roll it up just like that, and take a little piece of tape here and just bind it together because you don't want it rolling out on them. And you just go ahead and you stick that right in the top of the jar, but you want to kind of make it look as nice as you can. All right. Done with all the layering. Literally that took, what, 5 minutes? And now you have a beautiful gift in a jar. We're going to go ahead and put our lid on, and I have my piece of fabric already cut. You can get this fabric at Walmart. It's like folded in little sections. It probably could cover about 8 jars, and it's actually 97 cents. I mean, you can't beat that. Okay, so go ahead and screw that right on there. And there we have our banana oat nut bread gift jar mix. Now, to finish it off, I did print these tags offline, and it says nothing says leaven like fresh from the oven, and it's a to and from tag, and I thought these were really cute. I believe I got it off a website. I'm not sure, but I'm sure you can Google gift tags and you can print them right off on your computer. And so I'm just going to cut this off, and you know I have those pre-cut tags that I've used in my other videos. Make sure you go back and check those out, guys, because they're really good. And even if you don't want to put them in a jar, you can make them yourself as regular cookies. So I have my little tags that I got at the craft store, and I'm going to glue this on here. Now, it is early in the morning, and again, my 6-year-old has taken all the glue, as usual. So what I'm going to do for right now, just until she wakes up, just so you can get the general idea, is I'm going to just take a piece of tape and put it right underneath it here, like that, so I can just stick it on. But I would take a glue stick normally and glue this down, and make it as straight as possible, and glue that right onto a tag, which makes it really fun. And then I learned a new trick. If you have just a bag of rubber bands, or you save rubber bands from your newspaper or whatever, watch this. This works out so good. I mean, you can still use ribbon if you want to, but you stick that through the hole. I've never seen this trick before. I've done it on my pants when I was pregnant and didn't want to go buy maternity clothes. God knows I didn't think to do it this way for stuff in the kitchen. So go ahead and throw that loop right through there and pull that one out. And you have an attachment for your jar. Put that over the mouth. Hide it with the fabric. And then I actually have the rest of the instructions for the banana oat nut bread mix. I can't talk this morning. I'm really struggling. I don't know what is wrong. I think it's because it's so early, and I've got such a long day ahead of me. I have to work an 11-hour shift today, and I think I'm just like not looking forward to it. I wish I could be home all day in my kitchen. But I actually have the instructions for the banana oat bread. I'm going to go grab it really quick because I thought I grabbed it and brought it in here with us. Let me make sure I didn't. No, let me go grab that. It's right in the other room here. Hold, please. Okay, I'm back. See, I knew exactly what it was. I just grabbed the wrong one. All right, so I have the instructions for the banana oat nut bread mix, and it has the directions: pour, mix into a large bowl, stir with fork, breaking up any clumps. In a medium bowl, add 2 eggs, 1/3 cup water, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1/2 cup of applesauce, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1.5 cups, 3 to 4 bananas, ripe, mashed. Mix wet and dry ingredients until combined. Pour into a loaf pan coated with cooking spray. Sprinkle nuts on top. Bake at 350 for 50 to 60 minutes till your toothpick inserted comes out clean. Cool in the pan for 15 minutes before removing. So these are the instructions for the oat bread, and I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to actually glue it on the other side of this tag, and then they have the rest of the recipe. So when I get my glue stick later, I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. I printed those offline, and you can make your own. So I will go over the directions again slowly. It says directions: pour Mix in large bowl, stir with fork, breaking up any large clumps. In medium bowl, mix 2 beaten eggs, 1/3 cup water, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1/2 cup of applesauce, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 1/2 cups of mashed ripe banana, which is 3 to 4 bananas. Mix wet and dry ingredients until combined. Pour into loaf pan coated with cooking spray, sprinkle nuts on top, bake at 350 for 50 to 60 minutes till toothpick inserted comes out clean. Cool in pan for 15 minutes before removing. So you can type that up on your own computer, or you can go online, or if you want, I can also email you the tags and you can do them yourself. So they're just really fun. It's really unique and fun. I found a bunch of these online yesterday and I'm excited to do them. And maybe next time I'll have more than a 1/4 cup of coffee and I can actually get the instructions out without thinking about my day. So I hope you had fun with this one. Go back and check out some of the other ones along with some of my recipes. And go ahead, and if you want to find me on my Facebook page, I do have a Jus4SweetZ page. It has pictures of all the things I do, and I'm in the process of trying to load some videos on there. If not, you can join me on my Facebook page, my regular personal one. You can friend me, and that one is Michelle Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T, Gallick, G-A-L-I-C-K. Friend me on there, and I've actually, because in the morning I'm so pressed for time, I go on there and I just download the videos straight to my personal page. So you can friend me on there and see the things that I have going on. I'd love for you to do that. If you like this video, please hit the like button. That means a lot to me. Just to know what I'm doing is good and people are enjoying it. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd love for you to subscribe. I'd love for you to go back and check out some of my other videos. And until next time, when I have more than 1/2 cup of coffee and I can get my words out right, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and God bless.